Hello guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Now this is an important tutorial because I've forgotten how to build this so many times that I need to keep it on track, need to keep it on copy, and it's an easy, very useful build. Now how is it useful? Well, you can see these diamond blocks and this gold block, um, and a flush floor. So you can build this all underneath the floor. You can have it like, you can have any block here, have like a crafting table, and then it goes to a stone cutter or something like that. But the main use for this is water elevators. Now, imagine when you're doing regular water elevator, maybe like a simple one, you just have the two streams right next to each other, or apart a block, or whatever. With this, you can just have one block, which means you only have to fill one water stream all the way to the top. Now, that isn't that hard, right, to fill in two water streams, but with this, you wouldn't have to move that much. It saves a lot. And it's a pretty simple build as well, and I'll explain it as we go along here. So let's see it in action. Goes up. Piston brings this block down. It's the first thing that happens. Then these two blocks in the middle, like here, these pistons retract. And this piston and this piston retracts. However, there is a redstone torch underneath here, and because we power this button, we invert that signal, so it turns this on. And now that both pistons here are extended, and the update order determines that we can move these blocks, the blocks will be moved like this, and then in that time frame, redstone torch will come back on, push out the block that is in the center. See that happen right now? So yeah, it swaps the blocks, does all that. Pretty simple. You see it all right here. Just remember that it's basically 2 wide. If you go 3 wide, you're kind of making a lot of room. Plus, this can be altered. This will be the one shown in the thumbnail because it's how I built it, and I was showing a variation of one in a previous recording of this, previous try. You see, it still works. All you have to do is remember that this block needs a torch in this space somehow, and then you send power to the block, which depowers this torch. So if you do it like this, it'll be like this, right? But if you're doing it like this, we have to send power into this block and vice versa, which means that you can just send like a redstone, typical redstone line from here and power that. It'll work. And we use a short pulse here, so that this torch doesn't stay on for longer than necessary. Although you could make it a lever, it will just have this block, as you can see right here, you'll just have the block just sitting right there, which is not something we want. We always want this extended when we need to use it. And plus, if it's not extended, the water would just, for water would just flow down here, and since it's not a source block, it will just, it will not create a stream top. Although you could circumvent that by making these all stair blocks and having them hold water. Yeah, having them hold water, you gotta have some like, you gotta have some blocks underneath these so they're considered not floating water sources. And it will just refill the water if it gets stuck. If it gets stuck in the lower position. So there's a lot of things you could do with this. It's pretty flexible, it's pretty simple, pretty easy. And I recommend you build this for any of your water elevators because it's pretty efficient. Like, it's not resource intensive or nothing. I mean, the only resource intensive thing really is the slime block. The slime ball for the sticky piston, which sucks, you know, because you might not find slimes in caves, and if you do, you might not have if you don't, you might not think for a swamp, and you have to wait for a full moon to get a guaranteed swamps and maybe find a swamp at all. So the sticky piston is probably the rarest, the hardest item to get. But if you already have a slime farm or stuff like that, iron is not that big of a deal because it's literally 3 iron pieces. Find a cave and you get 3 iron. You have an iron farm or something like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Ooh, this is really simple, and I don't know how many times I've forgotten this. For reals though. Have a good day, good night, good life. Bye bye. Whoosh.